Hi everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Chicago Soccer Talk with Collin. It's been a few weeks since my last episode, but I am very pumped up to discuss the Chicago Fire and Chicago Red Stars this week. Overall, it was a pretty good week for both clubs. A draw and a victory. That's what I'm looking for Red Stars and Fire. The Red Stars definitely needed this victory, and the Fires need to keep pace with getting some draws and wins if possible. We don't need long consecutive losing streaks. So overall, I'm in a good mood for both clubs in terms of Chicago soccer. Glad to discuss both performances starting now. We'll begin with the Chicago Fire. It looked really positive that the Fire were going to pull out a victory against the Philadelphia Union. It's becoming kind of a heated rivalry. Not that the Fire are better than Union. The Union seem to be a better squad overall on paper and performance-wise on the field. But the Fire were able to get a good lead in this match, hold it for most of the evening. In the end, it became a draw, which was a 2-2 draw, which was disappointing. But the Fire overall looked solid. They held the lead for most of the match. Just at the end, they couldn't hold the lead, which was disappointing. But as a Fire fan, I'll take a draw over a team that has the quality of the Philadelphia Union any day. That's positive. I'd gladly take that. And performance-wise, for man of the match, it's got to go to a guy who just signed this season, new player on the club, Maren Solis, easily man of the match. He had an excellent goal against the Union. I want to discuss his goal. He's on loan from the Swiss League, and he got an opportunity to take advantage of Andre Blake on the Union, one of the best goalies in the league. Took advantage, great passing to set up Maren Solis, and in business, took advantage, scored the goal to give the Fire the lead. Proud of him, proud of his performance. And I liked the loan when it began, when we got him on loan. I thought it was a positive move. Doing some research on his background, his success overall, I thought that it looked a solid move by the Fire Brain Trust. And so far, this was one of his first goals. But overall on the field, so in terms of leadership, defensive skill, and as a winger as well, he has definitely proven to be more than adequate in MLS. And I was looking for somebody who has experience, skill, and talent, and can bring that to the Fire overall. And he's definitely proven that so far in the MLS. And I am more than happy to see that Maren is bringing his skill to the Fire and has helped us tremendously, because we need that. We need that to be able to make the playoffs this season, maybe as an 8th seed, 9th seed, or at least make some noise in the MLS compared to recent years when we have been in the bottom or not even in the playoffs. The season ends, and as Fire fans, we go home because there's no playoffs to look forward to because we stunk. Couldn't even make it to the playoffs as a bottom dweller seed who was going to go out in the first round. Instead, we don't even make it, and disappointment. But I'm glad the Fire looked overall pretty good. We're not last. We're actually, as of today, the 19th, April 19th, we would be in the playoffs that start today. And we've already 8 weeks in, so pretty good overall. I'm in a positive mood. I've liked the additions we've made. Players who have been on the team the past few years have helped tremendously. So new players who are young, such as Brian Gutierrez, Chris Brady, have played well. And then old veterans we've had in the squad have played well overall. And then players who in their mid-career have associated well with the club. So both positive moves. I don't have a lot to discuss because the Fire, though we lost, which was disappointment, we lost the lead, we held on and got a draw, so that's all I can ask for this club: wins and draws, not losses. That's what I'm looking forward to. Prefer wins, but I'll take a draw any day. And the Fire, I'm going to wave my flag because in a good mood for the club. We got the W. Personally, I need to get some more props. I really enjoy using props for Chicago Soccer Talk with Collin. I think it definitely pumps up the atmosphere, gets me in a really good mood, helps those watching at home. We just need to figure out what to buy in terms of, for example, hats, jackets, maybe some new props overall that could help. But this is what I'm using so far: flags and the Fire hat I have as well. Now we're going to move on to the Chicago Red Stars, because that's all I have for the Fire today in terms of the victory, and we don't have any new signings or loans to discuss. So they got draw and really good. So now in terms of the Red Stars, I'm gonna show you my shirt. I believe I've shown my Chicago Red Stars shirt in the past, but if not, here it is. And the Red Stars took on Kansas City Current at home. One of the first home matches in a little bit. And oh my goodness, the Red Stars needed this victory. The Red Stars overall have stumbled out of the gate. We have not looked good at all, losing, and we needed a victory bad, because I know as a fan and as a realist and someone who looks at statistics, research, roster construction, the Red Stars have lost many players from last season, and ones who are very important as well. And Mallory Swanson is one of the best players on the team. She's injured for a while, so that's going to be a big blow for the club. Losing Mallory Swanson, who's one of the best in the NWSL, and she is going to be vitally important for the potential success for the Red Stars. But instead, she's out for a long time, so not good news whatsoever. But the season's going on. We have to keep continuing to play. We can't look at injuries or the past and say, well, without her, we're screwed. No, we need to keep going in. We have talent in different positions, such as defense, offense, and in goal. So we just need to utilize those three areas and potentially look successful. So in terms of the match against the Current, best match for sure overall as a club on all three fronts in goal, defense, and scoring. I'm really happy about the performances from a variety of the players. They put it all on the line, took chances, and didn't play it safe. They went all out, and I'm proud of the club's performance. Chris Puricelli did a great job with the lineup construction. And the Current are one of the better teams in the league. They have not looked that way so far this season, which is a little bit surprising to me. But they do have talent, and if they could put together, they should rise up the standings potentially, because they are a perennial playoff contender, I believe. Just maybe it hasn't worked so far due to injuries and players haven't not playing to their full potential. So first, the Red Stars, they got off scoring fast. Right away, out of the box, the club scored, which that's what I'm looking for. We need to get off to a hot start. And with a hot start, getting a fast lead can help Alyssa Nair in goal. Shut down, defense help in front of her, and maybe hold leads. It's, of course, hard to play from behind in any league, especially in NWSL women's soccer. It's hard to come back from a lead. But the Red Stars got one fast. One of my favorite players on the team, Ella Stevens, scored right away in the third minute. She's my sister's favorite player on the club and one of my favorites as well. I've met her in person. She's very nice and good player as well, and I'm glad to see her scoring fast. Great job, Ella Stevens. I want to give a shout out to Bianca St. George's as well. She had an excellent pass from the right wing. St. George's found Ella Stevens, and it was a little bit, not directly Ella Stevens, there was a little bit of passing in mid-goal area, but the assist by Bianca St. George's was on the money, found her, and Ella Stevens scored past Adriana France to give the Red Stars a 1-0 lead. Great job by LC with and Bianca St. George's. 1-0 Fire. On time for the Red Stars. So next we move to the second goal later in the match. Penelope Hoking, with her first ever goal in NWSL, the rookie, scored past Adriana France. Solid goal by Penelope. I'm really happy with her performances so far, and great job to get this goal to give Red Stars 2-0 lead. She has definitely potential as a rookie out of the draft. I'm looking forward to see what else she can do, and that was a solid goal. Good job, Penelope. Good job, Red Stars, as well. Best game so far, in my opinion, this season. Very on-season, but overall, they've looked solid on all fronts. Next, we get a goal later in the match. And China Matthews should have gotten the goal. Almost should have been credited to her, but it was credited as an own goal. Because when China Matthews was charging in, she kicked it right corner, which kind of like early on in the goal, right there, front of the goal. It bounced off of Adriana France into the net, which should have been China Matthews, but though it was a own goal, without her, not would have happened. So Matthews, great passing to assist to China Matthews. She was on fire. She scored. 3-0 Red Stars. Great job so far, and the lead was not going to be erased because close to the end, the fourth goal happened when Penelope Hoking again scored, so she got a brace. 2 goals in the match. 4-0 lead for the Red Stars. Penelope Hoking, she's definitely looked great as a draft pick and a rookie so far, and very impressed with her performance. They allowed 2 goals later, but didn't matter. 4-0 victory for the Red Stars. Overall, very solid performance. A performance for me. And hopefully this can get the Red Stars on track and continue to get them higher up the standings, kind of settle down, get some draws, W's. They've been scuffling, as I mentioned early. Hopefully this will change those outcomes for the Red Stars. I know we've lost players, but we do have talent and skillful players still in the roster. Hopefully they can help us to play well in the NWSL. And we're not the only team with injury woes and roster issues as well, so hopefully we can stand guard and play well. So thank you for listening to this week's episode of Chicago Soccer Talk with Collin. Greatly appreciate your support and tuning into the show every week and when I release them. Thank you so much. See you next time. Have a great rest of your week.